I have a little bit of a secret here. See this badge here? I think Toyota put the wrong badge on this car. I think it should be a Lexus badge. This is the new Toyota Crown Signia. All right, welcome back. If you've been following along of our adventures in San Diego for our Toyota-thon, you'll know that we actually just featured the brand new 4Runner, also the new Camry, Land Cruiser, and we are in a brand new vehicle here. But not only that, we have a special guest in the co-pilot seat. We have David Chow from Automotive Press. Welcome, David.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
So if you don't follow David, if you want to know anything, well, especially for Toyota, he owns like, how many Toyotas do you own?
5 or 6,
Yeah, so,
including Lexus model, but yeah.
Yeah, so he really knows his stuff, and he's a big fan, and you're also an engineer.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, no, thanks for letting me drive with you. It's kind of fun, Brian. We get to share lots of ideas.
Yeah, so this is the new Crown Signia. Essentially, it is a kind of like a lower SUV, they're not calling it a wagon, and it kind of slots in between, it's a little bit bigger than the RAV4, and it replaces the Venza. Remember that Venza? It's like that was a popular car. It was very, very premium, and that's one thing I'm going to say about this. I think David might have a different opinion, but I think this is almost like a Lexus Light. Like right from the front grille for the styling, you have that same body color grader type of thing that you'd find in the new RX. So it has that. It's a very, very premium looking vehicle. Now in Canada, we only get one trim only, and that's the Limited. And that's the top of the line, comes with 21-inch wheels, all the bells and whistles. The only thing that it doesn't come with, and you have to get to a different package, which is a couple $1,000s more for the advanced package, is if you want that 360 camera, you're gonna have to pay a couple $1,000s more, which is a little bit disappointing. You get the Limited. The Limited should come with a 360 camera.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't just make just one package fully loaded instead of having one option, but...
Yes, we do have a fixed panel roof. It does have a bar going across, and where a lot of people are going to gravitate toward this vehicle is like right now, it's my seating position. I'm riding nice and high, and a lot of people like this. I can see this kind of being for empty nesters. Maybe you don't want the full-on ruggedness of a RAV4, for instance, but you want the premium aspects and some of the features of what this Crown Signia offers. And yeah, so one trim, you get a 12.3-inch driver's display, 12.3-inch multimedia display, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, JBL sound system, acoustic windshield, acoustic glass everywhere. And then space-wise, when you fold that second row down, and there's even an extension panel that goes, you can fit something 6.5 feet long in the back of this Crown Signia. That's pretty impressive for essentially, like a little wagon.
Actually, I like it better than the Lexus RX, even though they're kind of in a similar price range. I think this one drives better. Yeah.
So speaking of the drive, this is powered by the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with the hybrid system. Total combined horsepower, 240 horsepower. So if you want to compare that to, let's say, a RAV4 hybrid, that comes in at 219. So you're getting like a 20 more horsepower than that. Standard all-wheel drive, you do not get any type of front-wheel drive or two-wheel drive, and it does drive predominantly as a front-wheel drive. It has a 40 kilowatt motor in the rear, and that's going to kick in. Doesn't matter, it's not speed dependent because it's an electric motor, and that's going to really get you going out of the hole, and also it's going to save you some fuel. There's actually, I think, are there 3 motors in here? I think there's two in the front, one in the back.
I think so.
Something. Yeah, it's a very complex system that they have here, and it's a pretty big bonus. It's using the eCVT, so we're very familiar with this transmission and a lot of other products on here. So did you know? Of course you know. You're from Japan normally, initially.
Originally, yes.
Originally,
yeah, born and raised in Japan.
Born and raised in Japan. The Crown Nameplate was Toyota's mainstream nameplate like over 60 years ago.
Yes, yeah. So the Crown Nameplate was basically Lexus before Lexus was born. And that's the nameplate we looked up to. As a kid, we grew up and say, hey, your neighbor's dad has a Crown. That's like shocking. And it was expensive at the time, and it always represented something very significant. Now, there's a century above that, but that's for kind of corporate world. But for normal families, Crown was the top of the line brand.
Yeah, so and this Crown, that original one, or the station wagon at the time, came out over 60 years ago in Canada. So there are some deep roots with this nameplate and the Canadian market for sure. Okay, when we put our foot into it, you can hear that gasoline engine rev up there, but we do have that eCVT, which is a little bit different than a regular CVT, by the way. Yeah, no issue with torque at all. It's got plenty of torque and out of the whole acceleration for sure. I think this is going to be very, very popular for buyers that just want something a little bit more premium. I don't know. We're on a nice windy road here in somewhere in Southern California. I'm not even sure. And now this is built off of the TNGA K platform. This is built in Japan, by the way. And so this platform, it's very, very rigid, a lot of torsional rigidity, and it really helps on cornering when we're going around these corners. And you've even actually noticed it as a passenger.
Yeah. Even as a passenger, the more it turns into twisty roads, the more I appreciate the car because it's so stable, and agility is actually excellent, much more so than a higher SUV with a higher center of gravity. This thing feels very stable.
Feels like you're driving a car.
Yeah, definitely.
It really does. Other than you're sitting up higher, brakes are great. It's hard to believe how far hybrid vehicles have come. You really don't even notice that you're driving a hybrid vehicle at all. So David, do you think this has enough premiumness and enough crownness, from the original Crown to kind of call it what I'm calling Lexus Light?
That's a good question, Brian. I think it does feel premium. It feels kind of like Lexus, but it's moving a different direction. The old Crown, the traditional original Crown, was more like Lexus, very luxurious, lots of wood and leather and so forth, so traditional luxury. But this one's kind of modern, more Audi-ish, more BMW-ish. And so it's a clean design, business-like, smooth and comfortable and agile. But for me, Crown is still more like the traditional definition luxury. And so I think we moved away from that, but still it is premium and it does feel like a Lexus.
Like if you compare the interior of this compared to the interior of a RAV4.
Oh, it's definitely much more premium.
It's so much more refined. Just the edges, the flowing shapes they have around the air vents, even the shift lever is reminiscent of a Lexus product. And you get all the bells and whistles, the heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, digital mirror. You get it all in a pretty decent package. So once again, only one package in Canada, that's a limited, and that is going to set you back $57,450. And if you want to add on that advanced package, you're going to pay $59,525. That's going to give you a couple other advanced safety driving aids as well as that 360 camera. So yeah, all in all, I think it's priced, fairly good. It's not overly expensive. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that. We're talking about a $50,000 car. It's not overly expensive, but everything's expensive now. It really is. So yeah. Anyways, what do you think of this Crown, the nameplate, this Crown Signia, or any of the other cars that we've driven on this Toyota-thon? Leave a comment below. Big thanks to David for helping us out on this video, and you might even see him on some of the other ones. So, ciao.
See you guys.